Here's what most men never grasp. Women are wired to convey attraction, trust, and curiosity through behavior the mind isn't always prepared to decode. A hug is not merely politeness. Often it's a test, a quiet probe of your energy, your presence, your ability to meet her without overstepping or flinching. When she closes the distance and wraps her arms around you, she's measuring more than your frame. She's measuring your emotional resonance. Will you steady her or will you jar her? Are you calm or frantic? Are you aware or oblivious? Think back to the last embrace you shared. Did she hold on a beat too long? Did her torso angle subtly toward you, as if inviting something beyond a brief touch? Most men shrug these things off as innocent, but she's not being casual. In those moments, she's asking silently, "Can I trust you with more than this?" That is the litmus test she administers without words. The psychological truth is uncomfortable. If you respond mechanically, a joke, a quick pat, a laugh meant to disguise uncertainty, you confirm to her subconscious that you're ordinary, replaceable, forgettable. But if you respond with grounded presence, calm breath, a steady energy that reads her signals, you become memorable. You become magnetic, not violent or dramatic, but magnetic in the quiet, dangerous way that makes her mind pause and return long after the embrace ends. A hug can be an invitation, a warning, a test, or all of the above. Your responsibility in that instant is to feel it, to read it, to respect it. Too many men treat women like puzzles to be solved rather than living signals to be listened to. When a woman hugs you, she is running an internal calculation about you. Are you distracted, tense, desperate, or are you present, calm, capable? If you've ever felt a spark from a touch and dismissed it as imagination, that wasn't fantasy. That was her subconscious opening a door. The moment is fragile. Ignore it, and the door shuts without fanfare. A hug is rarely only physical. It's an atlas of her mind, her boundaries, her desire, folded into a tiny action. When she closes the gap, inch by inch, when her hands find their place, when she breathes against you, she is mapping safety and curiosity. Decode those cues correctly, and you'll learn more about her attraction in seconds than many men discover in hours of conversation. Let me break down the nuance. A quick, polite embrace signals politeness and minimal investment. A hug that lingers a fraction longer signals curiosity. When her chest grazes yours, even subtly, she's testing chemistry. She's measuring how your bodies fit, even before words label it. If a casual hug begins in neutrality but ends with her shifting closer, she is daring you to notice. This is not random. This is permission wrapped in hesitation. Most men glance, shrug, and step back. You won't. You'll feel it. You'll honor it. Now beware a common trap. Many men misread those tiny welcomes as signals to rush forward, to confess, to chase. That collapses the test. Women are checking for emotional intelligence, not impatience. If you move too quickly, you break the moment. If you recoil, you fail silently. The correct response is steadiness. Hold your energy lightly but firmly. Let the hug breathe. That stillness transforms a casual gesture into a charged, unforgettable moment. Ask yourself what she senses during a hug. Beneath the surface, her mind is measuring curiosity, attraction, and trust. She is feeling your posture, your breath, your heartbeat, everything your body says before a single word crosses your lips. Most men miss it. Most men flinch, overthink, or joke it away. You do not have to be clever. You have to be present. Women do not hug warmly at random. When she leans in, when her body softens, she is signaling emotional receptivity. When she presses closer, enveloping you with a firmer hold, that is trust materializing physically. If you notice that your response is calm and grounded, she will sense your stability and start leaving mental space for you. The hug stops being a moment and becomes a mirror, reflecting your psychological position back to her. She will remember that reflection long after contact ends. Here's a practical read for the different types of embraces. A light, quick hug is politeness. A lingering embrace, curiosity and invitation. A firm, enveloping squeeze, release and trust. She's offloading something she can't name easily. A side hug that's stiff and brief signals boundaries. If that same side hug includes a small lean or head touch, it's shy interest, a gradual transition from friendship toward closeness. The neck or chest lean, when she rests her cheek on your chest or nestles toward your neck, is one of the most revealing gestures. She's responding to your emotional presence, not your looks. That is instinctive vulnerability. It speaks of safety, not merely attraction. Watch the hands, where her palms land, how they move, whether they grip. All of these are declarations she's not ready to voice. A hand that slides upward on your back is grounding. A hand that hangs low is keeping the space neutral. A second, soft squeeze before release is intimacy that slipped out, unprepared. Women rarely double squeeze men they don't harbor feeling for. That action is truth leaking before she's prepared to claim it. Understand, too, that hugs evolve. If the way she embraces you softens over time, her trust is growing. If tightness becomes lightness, she's pulling back emotionally. If what used to be a short cultural hug turns into lingering contact, she's investing. Pay attention to the arc. It tells you more than any text ever could. There are moments when a hug is misread as rejection, the fast release embrace. When she steps back quickly, it isn't always dismissal. Often she felt too much too fast and recoiled to compose herself. Watch her eyes. Does she look away from the intensity? Does she force a smile? That's not a comfortable no. It's an overwhelmed maybe. Similarly, when she briefly touches her own arm or neck right after a hug, she is self-soothing, regulating the activation your presence caused. That's meaningful. You affected her system. The rarest, loudest signal of all is the return hug. When she lets go, then comes back for another hold. That second embrace is rarely trivial. It often means something unresolved, a desire for reassurance, a magnetism she can't dismiss. The first hug was the test, the second is the confession. Your job isn't to perform or to manufacture meaning. It is to be fully there, to let your energy answer hers with calm rather than chaos. When she leans in, slow your breath, let your shoulders relax, cradle her with a secure, gentle pressure that says, I am present. When you step back, don't scramble for words. Hold her in your gaze for a moment, soft, clear, steady. That small afterbeat is the echo she will replay in private. Here is the brutal reality many men avoid. Ignoring, dismissing, or misreading these moments costs you more than a missed chance. It can erase your place in her subconscious map of desire. Once a subtle invitation passes unnoticed, it often disappears forever. Most men will never know because they are trapped in their heads, judging and joking instead of feeling and responding. But you now have the option to do something different. Consider this short formula. Hug energy times your awareness equals impact. If she hands you curiosity and you meet it with presence, the result is magnetic. If she extends trust and you respond with awkwardness, the moment dies. This is not luck, it's awareness. It is the psychological advantage that most men waste a lifetime failing to develop. So how do you practice presence in that brief window? First, breathe deliberately. Your exhale sets a rhythm she can align with. Second, hold her with secure but relaxed contact. One hand high, one hand mid-back, not clinging, not distant. Third, avoid filling the silence with jokes or commentary. Let the stillness do the work. Fourth, when you release, step back with a composed, knowing look, not wanting, but aware. These small cues communicate steadiness far louder than any line you could deliver. Remember, women use hugs to probe, to invite, and sometimes to challenge. They measure trust and emotional stability in seconds. When you respond with calm awareness and subtle confidence, you become the man who lingers in her mind long after the embrace ends. You become rare, you become memorable. Now, be honest. Think about the last time a woman hugged you and you truly felt it. How present were you? How much did you notice? That one moment often carries more weight than a dozen rehearsed compliments or staged dates. Share it below. What hug stuck with you and why? If this shifted how you'll behave the next time someone steps into your space, like, subscribe, and pass this on to a friend who needs to learn what a hug really says. A woman's hug is not casual, it's a small, sharp window into her interior life, a map of safety, curiosity, fear, and desire. Learn to read it, learn to answer it with grounded presence, and you will stop missing what most men never even see. The smallest touches often hold the biggest truths. Be the man who can feel them, and you will become unforgettable.